Paddy Pimblett back to his old ways after UFC loss. It looks like Paddy Pimblett is already back to his usual off-camp lifestyle, and fans are once again shocked by his massive weight gain. The UFC lightweight is infamous for packing on serious pounds between fights, and this time was no different. Following his showdown with Michael Chandler at UFC 340, Pimblett revealed that he had gained around 42 pounds in just 1 week, pushing his weight close to the 98-pound mark. Despite these extreme fluctuations, Paddy has always managed to get himself back into elite fighting shape and, importantly, has never missed weight in the UFC. Recently, Pimblett also mentioned that he is now working closely with a nutritionist in hopes of controlling these drastic swings in the future. However, 2 weeks after his loss to Justin Gaethje at UFC 340, Paddy shared a new photo that instantly grabbed fans' attention. The image showed him standing alongside his football idol, Steven Gerrard, and it did take long for fans to notice that he appeared to be back near his typical off-camp weight, hovering around 200 pounds once again. Pimblett captioned the post by saying, "Not every day you get to play paddle with one of your childhood heroes." Even after a tough loss, it's clear that Paddy is enjoying life outside the octagon. But the big question remains, how quickly will he get back into fight shape? Andrei Arlovski wins BKFC heavyweight title after brutal war. Now moving on to one of the most incredible and emotional stories in combat sports this year. Andrei Arlovski has added yet another world championship to his legendary resume, becoming a 2-sport world champion after capturing the BKFC heavyweight title. Arlovski delivered a brutal and bloody victory over longtime rival Ben Rothwell, sealing the trilogy in devastating fashion. More than 2 decades after winning the UFC heavyweight championship, and nearly 18 years after their first encounter in Affliction, Arlovski rolled back the clock at Knucklemania in Philadelphia. The longtime rivals finally completed their trilogy across 2 sports and 3 different promotions, and it ended in gruesome fashion. From the opening moments, Arlovski looked calm, composed, and completely in control. Even though Rothwell has built a reputation as a dominant force in bare knuckle boxing, Arlovski refused to be intimidated, trading heavy shots and dictating the pace. In the second round, Arlovski opened up Rothwell with a massive cut, and blood started pouring from Rothwell's head. By the third round, things had gotten so bad that doctors stepped in to check Rothwell before the round even started, and just seconds later, they waved the fight off. By the time the referee called it, Rothwell was completely covered in blood, and Arlovski was crowned the BKFC heavyweight world champion. But what made the moment even more powerful was Arlovski's post-fight message. He took time to speak directly to cancer patients around the world, revealing that he has survived cancer 3 times and encouraging others not to give up. He said, "Most important, guys, people who are in the battle right now with cancer, don't give up. I am a great example. 3 times cancer survivor. Keep fighting. Life is beautiful." Tributes poured in from fans and fighters alike. Conor McGregor praised Arlovski, calling him a hero and highlighting his incredible journey. Fans called it one of the greatest comeback stories in combat sports history, praising Arlovski's resilience and longevity. One fan wrote that Arlovski is one of the most resilient fighters ever, while another said he thought Arlovski was finished 20 years ago, but he just keeps coming back stronger. It was a truly legendary moment for one of the sport's toughest veterans. Anthony Joshua talks about visiting Dagestan. Next up, boxing superstar Anthony Joshua made headlines after addressing the famous 2 to 3 years in Dagestan meme. Joshua recently attended the PFL event at the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai, where Usman Nurmagomedov defended his belt by submitting Alfie Davis in the 3rd round. While backstage, Joshua met with the legendary Nurmagomedov team, including Khabib Nurmagomedov, Javier Mendez, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Islam Makhachev. Joshua appeared especially excited to meet Makhachev, even showing him something on his phone. During the interaction, Makhachev jokingly suggested that Joshua should come to Dagestan for training. Laughing it off, Joshua said he definitely would stay for 2 to 3 years, but he would consider visiting for a few weeks. The moment quickly went viral, with fans joking about what would happen if the heavyweight boxing champion trained in Dagestan under the legendary team. Ian Garry plays matchmaker in the welterweight division. Now let's talk about the welterweight division, because Ian Machado Garry has some strong opinions about how the UFC should book the next fights. The division is currently stacked with contenders. including Garry himself, Carlos Prates, and Michael Morales. In a clip shared on social media, Garry decided to play matchmaker and revealed his ideal matchups for the division. Unsurprisingly, Garry believes he should be the next challenger for the welterweight title, suggesting that he deserves a shot at Islam Makhachev. He also proposed that Carlos Prates should face Michael Morales, calling it a battle of power punchers and predicting that Prates hits harder. Garry also suggested a matchup between Jack Della Maddalena and Kamaru Usman, saying he wants to see how Jack handles the takedown threat and whether Usman still has the gears to compete with younger contenders. Finally, Garry made it clear that he wants the world title fight to be himself versus Islam Makhachev, confidently declaring that he is next in line. Michael Morales fires back at Ian Garry, but not everyone is impressed with Ian Garry as matchmaking ideas. Michael Morales recently appeared on the Defo MMA podcast with Jorge Masvidal, and he did hold back when asked about Garry. Morales bluntly described Garry as annoying, making it clear that there is no love lost between the two. Masvidal also joined in on the criticism, taking his own shots at Garry during the conversation. With tensions rising in the welterweight division, a potential clash between Morales and Garry could be explosive if it ever happens. Alex Pereira praises Dustin Jacoby after UFC Vegas. Next up, Alex Pereira showed respect to former rival Dustin Jacoby following his impressive victory at UFC Vegas. Jacoby faced Julius Walker and had a tough first round, with Walker winning on all three judges' scorecards. However, Jacoby came out with a completely different intensity in the second round. He dropped Walker with a massive punch and then swarmed him with a brutal follow-up barrage, forcing the referee to step in and stop the fight. Pereira, who previously fought Jacoby in their kickboxing days, reacted to the fight and seemed genuinely impressed. He posted a video of himself reacting live and praised Jacoby's performance, saying he deserves respect and should be placed in the rankings. He also mentioned how much evolution he's seen in Jacoby and expressed nostalgia for their old glory days. Fans loved seeing Pereira give props to a former rival. Reactions to Mario Bautista's dominant victory. Mario Bautista kicked off 2026 with a massive statement win, and fans are now wondering if he is officially in the title conversation at bantamweight. At UFC Vegas treating, Bautista delivered a dominant performance against Vinicius Oliveira, securing a second-round rear-naked choke submission. He controlled most of the fight and executed a beautiful transition into the choke to force the tap. With the win, Bautista has now gone 9-1, dating back to 2012, and added another big name to his win list. He also picked up one of the new dollars and powers bonuses, which he found out about during a post-show interview. When asked what he planned to do with the bonus money, Bautista joked that he's buying everyone burgers, which had fans laughing. Fighters and analysts flooded social media with praise. Henry Cejudo admitted he might have been wrong about Bautista. Michael Chiesa called his transitions poetry in motion, and Bilal Muhammad simply said Bautista is good. Others praised his dominance, with some even suggesting that Oliveira may move weight classes after the loss. Last-second submission controversy at UFC Vegas centrally. Now for one of the most dramatic moments of the night. Jakub Wicklacz pulled off a last-second submission victory over Win Gafarov, and the finish instantly sparked controversy. The fight was already heated before it even began, as Gafarov missed weight by 5 pounds. During the bout, Gafarov applied constant pressure, while Wicklacz worked at range and repeatedly hunted for guillotines. In the final seconds of the fight, Gafarov shot for a takedown, and Wicklacz locked in a tight guillotine. Gafarov tapped just 1 second before the final bell, which led to a lengthy replay review before officials confirmed the submission win. However, Gafarov later disputed the result, claiming that he did T-tap. Merab Dvalishvili, who was in Gafarov's corner, explained that Gafarov tapped because he thought the bell had already rung. Merab said that Gafarov believed the round was over and tapped out of confusion, calling the situation unfortunate, but congratulating Wicklacz. Jakub Wicklacz responds to the controversy. At the post-fight press conference, Wicklacz responded to the controversy, saying he clearly felt the tap and was frustrated that Gafarov refused to accept the loss. He explained that he heard Gafarov breathing heavily and felt confident he had the submission. He said he felt the tap, saw the replay, and was completely sure about the result. Wicklacz said that while he respects Gafarov, the tap was real and the fight was over. Top MMA memes of the week. And finally, here are the top 3 memes trending on the internet this week. Number 3 was posted by Robert. Number 2 came from an MMA fan. And number 1 was posted by Velocity. Outro. That's it for today. MMA and combat sports news. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest MMA, UFC, and boxing updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.